This is the NFL on EA Sports as we welcome you to MetLife Stadium here in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one between the Miami Dolphins and the New York Giants. Jason Sanders now to get this one started, and off we go from MetLife Stadium. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone.
The Giants take over first and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
They'll start the drive here with an end around. And some room to roam now. There he goes, right side. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. The very first play from scrimmage. How about that? Talk about setting a tone.
And people always talk about doing exactly that in the first 5 minutes of the game, the first offensive and defensive series. Who's going to gain an advantage? Well, we saw exactly what happened there. The tone was definitely set by the offensive team.
Extra point try, good by Gano. And it's now a 7-0 game. Touchdown here to kick it away. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. Tagovailoa and the Dolphins come up 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Out to his left. That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. Call that a very strong gain of 24. First carry for Raheem Mostert. And he's going to get this past the 50 and into Giant territory. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling, and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be...
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Buried behind the line by Azeez Ojulari.
They've gobbled up over 30 yards of turf so far, but a sack knocks them backwards. And that interrupts the momentum they were building. Good opportunity for the defense to escape this drive before they get to the end zone.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, they certainly came out firing in this one, and while that one was incomplete, I can't imagine that'll be the last shot that they take in this game.
Here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. .43-yard punt, but they get 9 back on the return. And it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Throwing Jones. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
And this is what you want to see from a defense. Give up an opening drive touchdown, that's fine. But how about them going back out there, recommitting themselves to the task at hand, and forcing a 3-and-out and giving the ball back to their offense.
They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. Bellinger hauls it in out left side. And he is going to have the Giants first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive. They're able to keep the drive alive, 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one. A first down carry for Barkley. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
That was a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
From the 45 on second down, Jones, and he fires one incomplete. The intended target, Saquon Barkley, and it's 3rd down and 2.
Not sure what happened there, but he just didn't get the right read on the coverage that time. Pass wasn't where it needed to be, and that'll send them back to the drawing board.
And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
They'll try and throw for it here. He's going to have his running back. It's complete. On the move past the 40. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. On the draw, this is Barkley. And he is going to wind up losing yardage here, as that will take us to the end of the first. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Now Jones. The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out of the sky.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. Gano's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So another scoring drive there, Charles, and an early 2-score lead.
You like the 6th there, but you'll take the 3, and I think they have to be happy about the way they moved the ball in these first 2 drives. They have to feel good about their opportunities the rest of the game.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Nothing for them yet from an offensive standpoint, down 10-zip as they come up 1st and 10. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down.
Out routes are always timing routes, and if the timing's off just a little bit, it can really throw off a play. It looked like he led him a little too much there.
Yeah, there was a fraction of a second because he caught it, just couldn't stay in bounds. On 2nd down, Mostert. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. The defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually,
and this throw will be intercepted. Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. And the Giants are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 24-yard line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. The best way to do it, touchdowns.
And he'll manage only a couple here up to the 25. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
On 3rd down, Barkley. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. First down for the Giants as they pick up 12. Well, they gave themselves options there on the 3rd down play and were able to convert on that RPO.
Shows a lot of trust with the guy taking the snap, doesn't it? Because you're counting on him to make the right reads and give the ball where it's supposed to go. And he did on that play.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. Getting to the ball behind the line was Xavier Howard. Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Jones fakes the give to Barkley. Gets this out to Saquon Barkley. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. First down for the Giants as they pick up 12. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score. Two first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Jones. Into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked off by Jerome Baker. And the Dolphins are going to take possession of the football. So this defense coming up with a takeaway, and maybe that's something that could bring a little life to that sideline.
Well, I don't want to say that they've been sleepwalking through this first half because that's simply not true, but you're right. We haven't seen a lot of fire from these guys, really, on either side of the ball. So maybe that's the catalyst that they needed to get them back into this game. And a really nice play call there to start the drive, especially if you're a team that has a little bit of a reputation for throwing it downfield. You come out and you think maybe you can catch them off guard a little bit, and they did. Little screen pass, backdoored them, and that time worked well for a solid gain.
Give them 12 yards there, and the Dolphins have a first down. What makes a draw play like that successful?
Well, we did see where he made the first wave miss, and that was a big part of it, but a lot of it is just being actors back there. Making the defense think it's going to be a pass.
Darnay Holmes makes the tackle.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
And they'll get this on the screen to Mostert. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Tua looking to throw on 3rd and 2. He'll hit Mostert again here. And he's got this inside the 10 to the 9 before he's out of bounds. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Here's Mostert. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Second down and goal. Tua. Flush to his right. And he'll just chuck this one up into row G. It's incomplete.
This is a half where not just the coverage, but the entire defense is setting the tone in this game.
This will be play number 8 on the drive. It's 3rd and goal. From the gun, it's Tua. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. picked off by Kayvon Thibodeau. And the Giants are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 7. The turnovers, obviously, Charles, always costly, but man, when you throw those interceptions in the end zone like that, it really stings.
He tried to fit that one into his tight end, and I often use the expression NFL open, which means a tighter window. Down near the goal line.
He's got a man complete. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. They give him a gain of 38.
You'd think defenses might be a little more prepared for plays like this because so many offensive coordinators, when they get the ball after a turnover, they do like to dial up a deep ball right away. And if I were a defensive coordinator in this league, that's exactly what I would say to my defense before they went out to play. In this case, though, they didn't get the message, and a big play resulted.
And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3 alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon. The Dolphins down on the scoreboard, but they'll have it first as we get going in this 3rd quarter. Pulls it in at the 13. And he'll be out of bounds across the 25. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Now they got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. They wind up losing a couple there, so they go behind the original line of scrimmage, and now 3rd and 11 coming up. Backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. Throwing is Tagovailoa on 3rd down here. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked off by Fabian Moreau.
And that has to be a little bit discouraging because after all their halftime talk, adjustments, and points of emphasis, their first drive ends with an interception. Absolutely aggravating if you're a head coach because you spent all that time, gone through every situation possible, and it still ends in a turnover.
A running play here on 1st down is going to go nowhere as he is tackled behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half, and that trend is continuing here.
Now on 2nd and 13. Jones. This pass into the hands of Bellinger. Well, he caught it right at the line of scrimmage, and before he could even think about advancing it forward, he got hit.
Great tackling, because that's what you're taught. Don't give up yards after the catch, and most often,
touchdown, Giants! Richie James, 32 yards. And the Giants take the forced turnover on defense and convert it into 6 points. Gano the extra point, and that makes our score 17-0. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result had he opted for the touchback. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Setting to throw on first down is Tua. He's got him in. Complete. Touchdown, Dolphins. Jalen Waddle, 47 yards. And the Dolphins get a bit closer. Jason Sanders now for the extra point. And it's 17-7.
Makes the score Giants 17, Dolphins 7.
And they decide fairly early here they need the ball back, so here's an onside kick. And this is going to be covered up by the Giants. I know they're down, but starting the third quarter there with the onside kick, what'd you think?
Well, I think that they're looking at it as we may not have as many possessions in this game as we want. There may be that sense and that feel that they've got to go ahead and make something happen, steal a possession, try and steal some points, and get themselves right back in a position to try and win the game.
And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. Not what they had in mind there. That's going to go as a loss of 4. Well, it looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there, and they tackled him for a loss.
Jones' throw brought in by Bellinger. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35.
Now, coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
And he will have a Giants first down by about a yard as they're able to convert on 3rd and 2. Back to throw again. That is caught inside the 5. Touchdown, Giants. Isaiah Hodgins, 33 yards. And the Giants will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd. Extra point try good by Gano. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball. And it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard. Textbook coverage right there. Played the ball, never lost sight of where it was headed, and stayed in perfect position to make a play on it. Able to keep the receiver and the quarterback in his sight lines.
Got a man complete to Cedric Wilson. And now off to the races down the right side. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. I think it's fair to say there's nothing that gets a crowd to its feet quite like a big play, and that was something special there. Boy, was he moving. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead down to 10, 24-14. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. This now a 10-point game, so things tightening a little bit after that last score. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. So both offenses come to life here in this third quarter as this is shaping up for a good. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Again, it's Barkley. Room here to run. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 52 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there. And on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously. But at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He's got Bellinger. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a first.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense because, to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
And this nearly an interception, but it's incomplete. Well, a turnover really would have helped him there, but not to be.
Well, it looked like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high-percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
A 2-yard gain. It's 4th down.
On 4th down, Jones. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Giants go on 4th but come up empty. And the Dolphins' defense is able to hold. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now. But let's face it, all of our friends who play fantasy, they're enjoying the heck out of this show because most of them are creating and getting a bunch of points.
Yeah, points certainly not at a premium here. Off of play action, Tagovailoa. Got a man here, it's Wilson. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Cedric Wilson, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Dolphins have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. So that's a really big play here in the 4th quarter. And don't look now, they're right back in this game.
Did it feel to you, as it did to me, that maybe they were a little bit soft in what they were lining up with on defense? Almost like they were protecting the lead rather than trying to make a play.
And now that lead is down to just 1 score. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And with that last touchdown, I mean, we're set up for a good finish here. Some things to consider, Charles. Obviously, it's a very close game. You're in the 4th quarter. Defensively, they've got all 3 timeouts in their back pocket.
So the chess match really ramps up, doesn't it? Because in these situations, what do? Do you run the ball and kill the clock here? Or you try and bury them with another score? And how about defensively? Do you use your timeouts at earliest opportunity? Or wait till you hit the 2-minute warning? So there's a lot going into this one. Let's see how each side goes about their strategy.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Now, this is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Jones looking around. This one goes out wide for Barkley. And he's going to be taken down short of the first, right around the 15-yard line. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This will get the lead up to 7. Gano's kick is good. And that'll make this a 7-point game. From a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a 1-score game.
Without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
He will return this from deep in the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. That's caught at the 25. And they're going to move it down to inside the 25. Charles, just a gigantic play right there.
Absolute breakdown defensively, but take no credit away. A huge gain, and that turns things around.
A run there with Mostert as he'll push this forward and call it a 4-yard gain on first down.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
Meanwhile, Tua's throw is taken in by Waddle. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
All right, they picked up yardage, but they've got to get up to the line of scrimmage and spike it. They've got one timeout left, want to save it.
They couldn't ask for much more at this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, 1-score game. 1st and 10 here. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts, as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game. 2nd and 6 with the ball on the 7. Now Tua. And yes, he's into the end zone. So they get the late score they needed. And now the extra point can tie this thing up in the final minute.
And while it appears the heavy lifting was accomplished by scoring the touchdown, they're still down 1. That extra point is not a gimme.
Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And we may very well be headed to overtime. Boy, hard to ask for a better game thus far. 27 apiece is our score as the kick's away. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And Charles, obviously not much time left. I'm curious to see if there's enough for them to get into field goal range and try to win this thing.
And part of you and I...
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Javon Holland. And the Dolphins are going to take possession of the football. Well, we say it often, Charles, but not all interceptions are created equally. And that is a big one here in a tie ball game in the fourth quarter.
And Brandon, when games are this close, it usually comes down to the team making the fewest mistakes. And that was one of our mantras back at Tennessee. Coach Mills used to say all the time, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. You've got to cut those down to give yourself an opportunity.
Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
So they hadn't called on him at all until this point, but he comes through here and buries one from long range.
Yeah, that's awfully impressive because usually kickers like to get that first one out of their system in the first quarter, sort of get them into the flow of the game, but to come in this late and knock it down from long distance, give him a lot of credit.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Now this offense trying to change the script here a little bit, CD. Trailing on the scoreboard, and the last time out on the very first play of the drive, they threw that interception.
And you definitely saw his coaches, teammates come over to him on the sideline, tried to help him shake it off because in this game, his team is down right now. So it's important to make sure you get some confidence back for both the quarterback and the entire offense. Otherwise, those mistakes could continue to pile up.
A full start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. One final shot. They'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. Well, it took us until the final play, Charles, to officially decide a winner. Although on that last play, they were so backed up, it would